Let's record a podcast.
20 minutes,
All
huh?
right. Yeah, we're totally
Don't we
going
have to do the clap? I think we have to do the clap, right?
To align.
For the auto engineer. 1, 2, 3.
For me?
Yeah.
I already set a marker clip, so that was sweet.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming to our first official podcast recording as a co-founder team. This is so exciting. This episode is going to be all about getting to know us in 20 minutes or less. There's no better way to get to know someone than to ask them about their holiday. Rena, bring us back to your holiday.
It was pretty mellow because our house is still up on stilts and we usually host everything. And so this year we didn't host anything and instead ordered like pre-made dinner and took it to my parents' house and had it there. Yeah, it was like just a lot of fam time and hanging out, doing fun things with the kids. You go through like this kind of roller coaster, I find, with these extended periods with your children where like leading up to it, you're like, it's going to be so great to have this like uninterrupted time with my children that's unscheduled and like reconnect. And then you get like 3 days into it and you're like, why the fuck didn't I sign them up for camps? What was I thinking? Mm-hmm. I need to rest too. And then we like came back around to like, no, it's pretty great to have this unstructured time with your kids. And like, we did end up sneaking in 2 days of camp for our oldest because he was going nuts with all of his energy. He's like, I'm going to run laps now around the block. New Year's Eve, we always have a tradition of we have appetizers for dinner. And we usually play games, but this year we got karaoke. So we just karaoke'd our hearts out. It was so fun.
You had a little Filipino party.
And right to us. Absolutely.
It was so cute. And like both my boys know Hot to Go. Like that's our jam right now. And so they were like, HOTTOGO, step and clap and touch your toe. It was awesome. I'm like, come on, kids.
This is extra hilarious because Hot to Go has become my song for when I'm dissociating. When my parents are talking at me a lot and I'm feeling over processed, overstimulated, and I just stare out into the world. And in my head, it's just HOTTOGO. And all you hear is them yelling at each other, yelling at me. I was just like, you can take this out. I had to use it at Home Depot the other day.
Yeah. We've brainstormed so many videos of like, wouldn't it be funny if we taught everyone in the New Dimes network and community that Hot to Go is now like the first gen dissociation song, and we like create a viral TikTok trend of like people recording themselves listening to their parents yelling at them, but then overlay is like a transparent them dancing to Hot to Go in their heads. I love it. And like, I can't hear you. They're like, when you go to your parents' house and check their bills and see they have a $6,000 Kohl's credit card debt. HOTTOGO.
Yeah, that was me literally at Home Depot. I'll tell you a small fun slice of my holiday, and it ended up being kind of sweet. But my parents, my dad in particular, he's got a hoarder tendency because he experienced a lot of like financial loss over the course of his life. So a lot of these objects hold memories. And so we've been trying to just help him keep it organized because he's like, you never know when you're going to need this screw. And there's been enough times where we ended up needing that screw that we had thrown away before. And we're like, damn it, why are you right? So we're building a shelf to house some of these objects. And he's like, okay, well, we got to go to Home Depot. And he has a picture of Lowe's, of the plywood that he wants specifically for it. We can't find it. And then eventually we find something. And he's like, but it's not as like nice as the picture. But we already spent over an hour there just trying to find the right plywood, and we're checking out, and he walks over to the person who's working the self-checkout and he's asking them, why is it not like this picture? It's not like the picture. We should get a discount. And JP and I are just like,
in the back.
And he's like threatening to leave the store without buying it. And I was like, oh my God, let's just get out then he eventually walks over and he's like, hey, did you know if we sign up for a Lowe's membership, we're going to get that free chocolate? Meanwhile, he's really trying to get his A1C down. And I'm like, here we go. And he keeps trying to point us towards the chocolate. And we're like, HOTTGO.
Wouldn't it be great if you like see each other out in the wild and have these moments and you're just like,
I would love nothing more than to run into a fellow first gen person in this situation at a Lowe's with their dad, and you are both in this zone of like, you're doing this for them, right? This is part of the healing.
yeah.
Got it. It actually, you see someone out in the wild, first gen suffering, your duty is to take your phone out and start playing it softly.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. This is great. This is help.
A tiny
We're
radio.
going.
That's all you need.
Oh, Berna, how about you? How was your holiday? I know your parents were in the Philippines.
Yes. My parents, as always, were in the Philippines. They've been in the Philippines since beginning of December. They don't come back until mid-January. They've been doing this for about 5-6 years since my mom's mom, my Lola, passed. And as much as I love what they do over there, they're having so much fun. They reconnect with family. They do this huge like fiesta for like my Lola's neighborhood. I've been telling everyone I can't wait till they get back so I could do like a low-key shame campaign and be like, why do you leave us every year? Us siblings are like lost puppies around Christmas now because we're just like the matriarch is left and dad's not around to like yell about how stressful Christmas is. So I'm happy for them, but Christmas is usually pretty quiet for us because of that. And I've had a very indoor cat holiday. Like it's been me and my boo occasionally coming out and doing a little Christmas party, little gift exchange, and then like running back to one of our apartments and playing video games and watching The Bear. So I feel
so good.
I feel very rested, to be honest.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
I love how everybody else can find The Bear so entertaining and relaxing.
This is why people, when they find out that I worked in magazines, they're like, Devil Wears Prada, have you read it? And I was like, no, I burn every copy I see because I can't. Why would I want to put my brain back in that?
You're like, why would I want to relive my child? For everybody who doesn't know, Berta, tell people listening why you connect so much with that movie. You disconnect so much from it.
Oh, why I try every time to disconnect. It's because I had Devil Wears Prada dreams growing up, but really it wasn't about Prada. It was about like wanting to help teens. I really wanted to work for 17 Magazine my whole life. I landed a job at 17 Magazine right outside of college. I was the executive assistant to the editor-in-chief, and it was Devil Wears Prada in all the ways you don't want it to be Devil Wears Prada. It was hard. It was scary. It was egos. It was women yelling at each other. And so then the Devil Wears Prada was like, everyone's like, oh my God, Devil Wears Prada. I was like, don't say those words around me. The bold type came out. People were like, you are definitely going to watch that. I was like, why would I watch a series about some of the hardest 2 years of my life? Like, do you watch movies like 4K about your personal trauma? No. Why would you do that? So now,
can I?
You're like, no Bear.
Who was the editor in chief?
Oh, you know, it's Googleable.
Okay, I will Google.
I was the executive assistant to the editor in chief in the years of 2011 to 2013.
Okay.
It was a spicy time, and I've talked to therapists about it.
Everybody's just, I can hear Rena clicking.
I am searching.
That's goddamn right. But that's, when I think about that time, I play Hot to Go in my head, and I imagine that's you, Kristen, with the bear.
Yeah. So also, for anybody new and listening, I would watch The Bold Type, not realizing that that's your past Berna, but The Bear is very much my family's present. My partner and I also have a Filipino food business here in San Francisco. We kept it operating through the pandemic. It's been 8 years. So half of our years were literally pandemic years. And when we watched season 1 of The Bear, that was fine, but it was more like I couldn't always watch it because of the amount of yelling that was just happening at the same time that I was like, my body can't take this. But the season 2, all of our close friends were like do not watch this because it's about opening the restaurant. And we were literally going through hell getting our first like brick and mortar space up and running. And I was like, I can't do it. And so I still haven't to this day been able to get myself to watch it. But everybody says it's great. So
it's
love that.
excellent. It's really excellent, but
It's
I
good
fully
TV.
understand being like, I'll skip
Yeah.
this cultural zeitgeist of a moment.
Yeah.
I think I'll watch
Yeah.
it after. I think maybe this year will be good because like last year we finally reopened and we were like, let's just enjoy this and not watch what was.
No.
Yeah. Speaking of, you also had exciting times over the holidays with Shop Shop.
We did.
The break-in, which like what?
Oh,
Sorry.
word.
What
I love how you-
ill-conceived effort. I was like, who the fuck
Why-
thought that one
why-
through?
Why would you call that exciting?
Like, how many definitions of exciting do we got here?
I was like, what happened? I was like, we kept it pretty chill, pretty mellow because it had been such an eventful year. We were like, nothing too good, nothing too bad. And then we're like, oh. So that was the one opening that we didn't install a security shutter on. Because, you know, you're not technically allowed to. It's a PG&E gas line access box. But pretty impressive.
Is it though? It's like someone had to be in a crouch space with a fucking saw to saw out like a 1 foot little. What were they gonna do? What was the plan after that? Like,
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Because, yeah, you're right. You had to climb up into this gas line box, be inside of there. And they were in there for nearly an hour with like a handheld power saw. Because JP was like, there's no electrical source in there because it's a gas line.
yeah.
And his guess is they had to stop because they ran out of battery on their electric saw. But they had to cut through a fireproof material wall and then like really thick wood. So yeah, I
And it was
guess exciting.
like no humans fitting through that. I mean,
Yeah,
an arm
child.
could fit through there.
They're gonna send an elf.
I'm not sure. But it kind of is a good example of what, again, it can feel like living this life we've all chosen of trying to be a little bit more free, a little more non-traditional path of life, where like nothing's really charted for you. So even for us trying to be like, we're going to be one of the businesses building out the Filipino district in San Francisco at this time. We decided to do it in hard mode. And when I hear all of the questions and stories people send in of what they're working through, like in the New Dimes Network membership, I'm like, this is that, but just apply to your like family and financial life. We're like, we have all chosen to go hard mode by not just accepting what we've been learning or conditioned into, or the only options we've ever been like, you know, presented. So sometimes you might run into a day where somebody's literally trying to hack into a box that has a gas line where you're like, if you cut that gas line, you would have exploded this whole block maybe.
Oh my God, that's a great point.
Yeah, power saw in a little tiny box with gas.
Yeah, girl,
Oh
that's all I
my
was like.
God, I did
what are
not
you
think
talking
about that.
What?
Yeah. And then it also kind of spurred this interesting conversation with my dad, who also has, you know, Filipino hustle business dad mentality. And he's like, why are you scared of people breaking in? That's why you have business insurance. Just make sure you have every receipt of every single thing so that you're like, he was basically like, you better hope they break in so you can make a claim. I'm like, this is so aggressive. I don't want to do that. But it made me think of you, Rena, where you're like, I'm a litigious person. Come for me. And I'm like, I'm not there.
Couldn't be less.
Oh no, please don't come for me. Just please do not come for me. But understand, should you decide to, I will lawyer up. Like, I've learned my lessons. Yeah, no. Please don't come for me.
Episode, maybe Rena will tell us stories of her litigious past.
I also like it as a merch situation, like a sweet crew neck, and it's like in cursive, and it looks really like, oh, like soft, but it actually says, I'm a litigious person. or just litigious. Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too, actually. Litigious. I like that. Yeah.
Well, if you like these stories and these little tidbits of fun things that we talk about, this is one slice of what you can expect out of New Dimes Radio. Bernarana, do you want to share what other kinds of things people might be getting to hear if they follow along?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm looking forward to a year of New Dimes Radio where we do a mix of things. We are going to be talking with incredible folks that we know in our network, in the New Dimes network, our brilliant friends, other creators, activists, movers and shakers, change makers, breadwinners, one of whom is Adrienne Marie Brown, who
Yeah, that's right.
I spent all of New Year's Eve listening to their episodes of How to Survive the End of the World.
I love that podcast.
So soothing. And we were lucky enough to have a conversation with Adrienne Marie Brown. We have lots of other folks lined up for interviews. And I'm also really looking forward to us chatting through what it's like to build New Dimes and the things that we encounter, because part of why we wanted to record this episode and start recording for New Dimes Radio is because every week we find ourselves in regular conversations where we're just like, how you doing? And 3 hours later we're crying. And it's like, this really should have been something that other first gen breadwinners could hear and contribute to. So I'm super excited to sort of externalize all the processing we've been doing behind the scenes so that everybody can just like heal and cry with us.
Yeah.
I love that.
Double down on that, because the other thing that I think we were realizing from having the network open for 2 months now is how much we all debrief and kind of like suffer sometimes, like in silence. And so being able to just actually talk about this out loud makes it feel a little less heavy.
Oh my gosh, yes. There's a lot happening, but I don't want to say there's a lot happening to make you all think that we treat January like, it's time to hit the ground running, new year, new us. I keep telling people, I don't know what Instagram like cursive post I saw about this a couple years ago, but I keep telling people that I treat January like a Sunday and not a Monday. And in an ideal world, you treat your Sunday as like a smooth, like chill time to get organized and like look ahead into your week, your month, your life. And so the couple of things we're doing for New Dimes Network members in January are our usual dance, but kind of flavored to getting financially organized in January. So we are doing an AMA panel, and Ask Me Anything. Usually we have an AMA with like a one-on-one expert, like what CFP or something, you can ask them your questions. We made it extra special, extra spicy this month, where we have a panel of 3 experts. We have Deanna, who is our first gen certified financial planner. We have Dr. Shay Harris Peer, who is a financial therapist who friggin' specializes in family offices and like family, what's the word I'm looking for? Governance. She specializes in family governance and like has a first gen lens, which I think everybody in the club is like, govern my family, Dr. Harris Beer. Oh my God, please. And then our third panelist is Gabby, who is a combo certified financial planner / AFC accredited financial coach who can kind of cover the bare bones budgeting, debt planning numbers part. So we have a full suite. It's almost like a beginner pack family office for folks to talk through with us on how to get financially organized. And then, of course, we have our second virtual event, which is our wealth accountability session, where we're going to take some of the tools that we've created for New Dimes Network members to get financially organized, the conversation we had with our AMA panel, and actually sit together and do the things, whether the thing is fill out our budgeting tool sheet or a wealth planner that you found or start the budgeting workshop that you downloaded, just actually do the thing. So we've got the like inspiration, the question answering in the AMA panel, and then the friggin' just do the thing, sit down, get it done, body double with us during our wealth accountability sessions. We're very excited.
One thing that I've been super excited just witnessing here is the fact that New Dimes, this is an alpha launch, and it has been like just word of mouth, just network. And the amount of excitement and what they call product market fit that is so clearly here. super juiced, Kristen, when you share the end of the year numbers and how we're doing with, who's joined and retention rate, and ratings for our different events. Whether it is the AMA or the accountability sessions with folks. I'm really excited for what's coming up and just how resonant this all is for folks to hear each other speak out loud about real details about money and family and your dollars and cents and your family's dollars and cents.
Yeah, we have a lot of really brave people that have joined us in this alpha chapter. When we're thinking about things like retention rate, one of the things that's really moving for us in pursuing this work is that the retention rate means that all these people who are so accustomed and expert at taking care of everybody else are investing in themselves and like actually receiving care. And I think that is pretty remarkable because it is so easy for us to constantly slide ourselves to the bottom of the list because we will be the ones that are like, we're not urgent, we're not important. So that retention rate is so, it just, I don't know, it makes me kind of like teary when I think about it because I'm also thinking about all of the people who I know are with us. And I'm like, yes, you are still choosing to work through those hard things and find joy.
Yeah, it's so delightful. Probably one of my favorite things we've done over the last couple months is our one-on-one new member calls, or two-on-one new member calls, and the personal connection that we make with each and every member, and getting to ask them like, what are your financial dreams? What bothers you? What are you up to this weekend? What would you do if you had a free Friday night? Like just connecting one-on-one with the members because we're this size right now, it's easy to do, it's accessible, and it feels so juicy, like we're building this thing alongside them. And I'm always telling the team, like every time we do one, it's like a Mario mushroom, because then we get to see the numbers and, retention, all the things that like excite us as a business, but then you talk to the actual person who's benefiting from it and how excited we are, how grateful we all are, how much we resonate and relate to each other's situations. Oh, it's just like, drugs, good drugs.
I know. And also we're choosing to do this fully financially independent, which allows us to do this at the pace and size. We can go super deep with folks. That does mean sometimes extra hard mode, but it is so worth it.
Yeah.
That's so true. There are actually a couple of other sprinkles that we're offering to our members this month that we've learned in like talking to our members and seeing what else they need. / we're just excited to be like fairy godmother, more goodies for our folks. We made something that we're calling the Big Three Numbers Guide. So something that we're exploring with the AMA panel and with the Wealth Co-working session is, what are the 3 numbers that you need to sort of understand to get like financially organized? Kristen, being tool monster product fan, was like, let me make this thing to make sure everyone understands what these big 3 numbers are. We're calling it, the 3 numbers are your needs, your net worth, and your nextras. Extras with an N because we love alliteration. But that is something that we're giving to our members to walk through exactly how to get to the big 3. If you're interested in this Big 3 Numbers Guide, we invite you to join our newsletter, and we'll pop you the link. We'll send you the link. It is not publicly available, but we'll make it available for you if you want to get in on the list. We also were thinking about the fact that we offer this AMA session, we offered this Wealth Co-working session, and we're making things that we're like, wait a minute, I want to do that too. Like, I was like, Kristen, I want to do this guy. Kristen, I need to reset my big 3 numbers. And so something we're experimenting with potentially this month is a peace and quiet session, or, we're workshopping the name. We took a solid 2 hours last week to workshop the different names for this peace and quiet session. I don't know if, Kristen, you want to share some, but one of them is potentially turning the acronym STFU, shut the fuck up, into something a little more productive. Like, what was it? Stop thinking financially upgrade, or something like that.
Oh my gosh, let me find an example.
Yes.
It was silently tackle financial undertakings.
Ooh.
Or step towards financial unclenching.
Ooh, I like that one.
The idea is that it's not facilitated. Even Kristen, Berna, and Rena will show up to that session and be like, wave at you silently from our cameras, mic muted, and actually do our own shit too. Just full peace, quiet body doubling so that we can also benefit from doing things together. So lots of little extras this month too.
Yeah, my favorite one was don't talk to me time, just because I kind of love the idea of a lot of people in my life have access to my calendar, and it's usually all of my closest friends and chosen family. And of course, it's always going to be a yappy time. So I'm like, if they're looking at my calendar trying to see, like, hey, when can we hang out? And it says don't talk to me, I know that they will be like, she's doing something really important. Don't talk to her.
Yeah, absolutely. We also brainstormed ones we super don't want to use just for funsies. And my favorite, for those of you, if you're ever going to watch this video, all the ones that we really liked came with dance moves. My favorite was shh and slay. We'll never use wrong answers only type of name, but it got us closer to the vibe that we want.
And no, we did not come up with that one ourselves, but the internet did.
Thank you, internet. Sometimes you gotta find your no's before you get to your yes. That was a hard no, but it still was really fun to find.
And okay, I might end up editing that out because if somebody out there has chosen to use
slay, I think fine.
We mean no harm. We mean no
harm.
And if that's copyrighted, please don't sue me. This is a laugh of appreciation. I'm appreciating. Oh, damn it. Fine. Never mind.
Well, yeah, I guess that's it. We did it.
We can't shut the fuck up, but somebody needs to.
I really, this does feel like a first gen family goodbye, because even it's like and that's not it. There's also this thing. Did you put this in? Make sure you put this in a to-go box. Wrap this. Do you want some cookies?
Did I tell you about?
And then,
no.
Can you help me with my Wi-Fi? I forgot my password.
Why is my phone doing this? Can you? Oh no, our parent trauma's coming out. Wait a minute.
I know. Our holiday trauma's coming out. So with that, I kiss you on the forehead. Goodbye.
This is bootleg podcast room at the Ruby.
I'm also going to take a picture of this
young adult book under my laptop.
Finally doing
what's happening right now? I think I'm supposed
Hearing you do that to your teeth, Rana, in that microphone is
disgusting.
Very intimate.
It's something. It's a choice.
Excuse me. Let me go. Get some
I don't
floss.
mean that in a bad way. It was just like, oh,
no.
Wow. You're like licking the inside of my ear.
Yeah. It's ASMR.
I'm over here like, it's not bad. It's just like you're licking my ear.
Take note. Things, Kristen, things aren't bad. They're not bad.